one of our best, Keith Fitz-Gerald from the Fitz-Gerald Group. All right, Keith, so the selling is really building up. The proverbial snowball is becoming a boulder. Individuals are becoming worried. The big names are selling off right now, the really big quality names. It was one thing when the high flyers with no profits were selling off. What are you saying to people right now, and where do you think the key number is, perhaps on the NASDAQ, where it has to make a stand?
Well, first of all, thanks for your kind words. Let's tackle this in reverse. The NASDAQ's got to make a stand within the next 100 points or so, and that's going to be Apple, for example. When people stop selling Apple, which is one of the most highly leveraged stocks in the world, that's when you're going to see the institutions say, aha, it's time to buy. But keep in mind, for all the selling that's going on, there's always a buyer. So somebody's wading in a big way right now. As for what I tell investors, I just ask them very simply, would you go to a 50% more sale, or would you go to a 50% less sale? If the answer is the latter, you know exactly what to do. Companies like Tesla, companies like Apple, companies like Microsoft. The question is not what happens today or tomorrow. The question is where these things are going to be in 5 or 10 years. And I submit those are companies you're going to kick yourself if you don't own.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. You know, I saw this morning or yesterday. Oh, no, this morning, individual investor bullishness, it's now stumbled to just 25%. People, of course, are bailing on winners, right? And you try to convince them to stay in. Is there a particular stock that you may say, okay, what about XYZ? Think about this. Something that says this is more than just a fun thing. You know, for a year and a half, most folks are just buying, enjoying it, having a lot of fun, and patting themselves on the back. We always know that brilliance shouldn't be confused with luck. But by the same token, you're just telling me, hang tough for 5 years, you'll be okay?
No, I mean, there's some more nuance to that. You got to go with what the world needs and has to have. That's why companies like Chevron, for example, and Pfizer, two of which I've owned and recommended, are doing well today because the world can't live without them. On the other hand, you've got lots of companies like Peloton, for example, or Robinhood that are getting shellacked because people are figuring out very quickly that quality matters, the best matter versus the rest. You can't just go in there and buy cable television because you're going to get the bass fishing channel with the History Channel, the stuff you don't want with the stuff you do want. That's the decision you got to make today. So if you need the money to sell it because you need it, that's one thing. But if you need it because you're scared, that's your emotions talking. You can overcome that with the right tactics and, importantly, with the right stocks.
I'm from the camp that I like when they go down fast. I know it's tough. We take the stair steps up and the elevator down, and it's scary and it's frightening, and it might even sound mean-spirited, but I love when they just melt them down. It's hard, though, because I'm trying to give people this hang in tough. A lot of folks are, they're emailing me, they're texting, they're calling my office. You're in that same camp? I mean, as painful as it is, rip the Band-Aid, wherever the hell we got to go, because I think we're going to be oversold when this is all said and done, because the market always oversells when this happens.
Well, I told a client just this morning, I get the exact same kind of phone calls and email. I told a client this morning, I said, do you go out and just get rushed and buy every snow shovel you can in April because you get 6 inches? And my client says, no, everybody knows the snow melts by July. Boom, I think so. We've got the same scenario here. The best companies survive. You don't need a snow shovel right now. What you need is to just take a few measured digs, figure out what you want to own, and then go on the offensive, because that's what history says you need to do.
Let me ask you about one of the hottest stocks with no profits because they don't have any product. Well, they're going to have a product. I'm talking about Rivian, of course. Serious hot IPO. It's a name you've said you like. They're going to report after the close. What should we expect to hear from this company? We know they're going to open a $5 billion plant. I think it's in Dallas or somewhere in Texas. So the orders are coming in, but does the price justify that right now?
We simply don't know whether the price justifies it, but the movement certainly does. Here's what I'm going to be looking for today. I'm going to be looking for when are they going to actually commence the production everybody's counting on, and what does the institutional order flow look like? What are the fleet sales look like? Because what you want is this long revenue runway, right? Especially when you're talking about a company that's newly hatched. We're about to see the first set of public numbers. There are really only 3 EV stocks that matter, and this is certainly one of them because of the relationships it has with everybody else.
All right. Wise words, Keith, at a very important time. This sort of year-end selling, we deal with it every single year. I think this year is even more important because a lot of folks have made a lot of money, and there come bumps in the road. We got to deal with it. Folks, do not get out of this market. Make adjustments, but do not get out. Keith, thank you so much, my friend, as I hand it over to my...
Hi, it's Keith here. Thanks for checking out today's highlight clip. What'd you think? Did I make sense? Is there something you'd like to add? Make sure you leave a comment down below, and of course, click subscribe to keep up right here on YouTube, or sign up for the email newsletter at the link below. You can also find me on Twitter and Instagram for my real-time thoughts on markets, analysis, and a whole lot more.